All right, welcome. I got a fresh haircut today. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I'm going to get you sounding good. That's the plan. So, we are looking at the basic clawhammer banjo stroke and the rhythm of clawhammer banjo today. So, if you're new to the banjo, this is going to be super helpful. If you just need a refresher, I think it'll be useful too. So, yeah, we're getting back to the basics today. We're going to have some fun. So, yeah, let's get into it. Now, please hit the like button, whichever side it's on. It helps the channel grow. That's super helpful. If you can just take a second and do that, I really appreciate it. Because when you hit that like button, YouTube recommends the video to more people, and hopefully the idea is we create more banjo players together. Because even though my neighbors would heartily disagree with this statement, I think the world needs more banjo players. So yeah, let's do that. Like, subscribe, all that YouTube-y stuff. Super helpful. Thank you. That felt like super salesy. I'm going to be honest. I rehearsed that. Hopefully that wasn't too annoying. But yeah, let's get into it. Clawhammer banjo stroke. So we want to start with the mechanics of the clawhammer banjo stroke here. And thankfully, the instructions are basically in the name. So when you talk about clawhammer, you're going to hold your hand in this loose claw shape. And you're going to use your index finger to strike the strings or hammer into the strings. So I've got my hand in this loose claw shape, and I'm resting the side of my arm on the edge of the banjo here. And I just basically use that as a pivot to hammer in to the banjo. It's not like a guitar. If you're coming from guitar where you're strumming up and down, nope, banjo, we're hammering. And all you do is use your index finger to strike the string. So, and go ahead, follow through. Hit the head of the banjo. That is totally fine. Later, if you want to develop more control and use that sort of sparingly or only in some circumstances, you can. But, I think it sounds pretty good to just always do it even. Just get that little percussive sound. I like it. So the main thing to be aware of when you are striking with your index finger is what you're doing with your thumb. So as you come in and as your index finger makes contact with the string, your thumb is going to come to rest on the fifth string. And when I say rest, I mean it's kind of jammed in there. Like it is bisecting my thumb. I can see it. And this is just something you're going to have to build a habit of. It's really necessary to play this style because you're going to be plucking off with that thumb quite a bit. And you want your thumb ready to do that at all times. And it just kind of helps with the rhythm as well. So this is a very sort of percussive style. And when you have that just sort of driving force, it really makes it a lot easier. So yeah, always be aware of what is happening with your thumb when you drive in and really stress that bit of it. So what I want you to do is we're going to play along. I'm just going to kind of hit some random strings with my index finger and always making sure my thumb's coming to rest. Now, here's the cool thing. With banjo, we use open tunings. So that means that for the most part, you're not really going to play anything that sounds wrong if you hit the wrong string. And so while it's good to be able to hit, a single string with your index finger, it's not a big deal if you hit 2 or 3 or whatever. You can refine that later. But the key is don't overthink it, right? Just have fun. And so to that end, all we're going to do is we're just going to practice hammering into the banjo, having our thumb rest on that fifth string, and just do that while hitting a few different strings. So let's do it. And you just want to think about getting a clear tone. See, like when I go hit that fourth string, like it's not always perfect. I'm hitting sometimes the fourth and the third. It's not a big deal. I would say more important even than hitting the right string is getting that thumb into position. All right, how's that feel? Keep going on your own. I'm not going to make you listen to that all day. The next piece of the basic clawhammer banjo stroke is the brush stroke. So this is basically the guitar strum, although we're still using the hammer. So what I do when I do a brush stroke is when I come off, so I'll do the index strike or whatever. I come off And all I do is just close my fist a little bit. So it might look like this as I'm coming off low. Just like that, right? And then when I hammer back in, all I'm doing is opening my fingers across these strings. You can use, I basically use all 4 fingers or sometimes just these 3. Do whatever feels natural to you. Some people just use their index finger for everything. I think that sometimes gives it kind of like not as bright a sound. I don't know, I just, whatever. You do you. I'm not gonna tell you what to do here. I just know that I like to use 3 or 4 fingers there. Okay, last piece of this then is the thumb pluck. So when you come in and your thumb is resting on the string, all you do is just let the string sound as you lift back off. One tip I'm gonna give you here, because I have a bad habit that has just been ingrained into my head, and try as I might to break it, I still fall into it sometimes. So I'm going to try to save you this trouble, and that is that you want your thumb to follow the rest of your hand. You don't want your thumb to lead, and the reason is it's going to slow you down later and affect your rhythm a little bit and affect your control. So just practice, keep the claw together, basically. That's all there is to it. And let your thumb follow the rest of your fingers, not snap off like that. All right, sip of coffee. So, in London, where I live, brief interlude here, we get about, this time of year, we get like 20 minutes of sunshine a day. And it is that time right now. So, that means I'm not going to keep you forever, right? We're going to talk about rhythm, and then I'm going to get you out of here, and I'm going to try to maybe absorb a little bit of sunshine. We'll see how that goes. It'll probably be raining by the time this video is over. So now we have those 3 basic components, right? We've got the index strike, the brush stroke, and the thumb pluck. How do we put those all together? Well, they call it the bum-diddy is the basic rhythm, and that's because it's sort of what it sounds like. So bum-diddy. Just like that. If you know music, you can think of it as a quarter note followed by 2 eighth notes. So if you're counting out a measure of music, like a small section of music, it will have 4 beats to it, which would be quarter notes. If you subdivide those further, you've got eighth notes, and you can keep going forever. But so the way you would count it, just a 4 beats would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? So when you play the bum-diddy, you're playing the 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I just messed that up. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the way that actually translates is we sort of do index strike, brush stroke, thumb pluck. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Try that with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Yeah, that might take you some practice. Like, I've probably undersold how difficult this can be to get started. This is just, but you know what, eventually, like, this is going to be pure muscle memory. You're going to be able to bum-diddy in your sleep. So as you practice, you can start out just on the first string, brush stroke, just like that. And then I want you to progress to playing the other strings as well. So, all right, just. And, like I said, don't worry about it. Feel free to hit multiple strings when you do that index finger strike. Work on gaining control, but, like, it's not a huge deal. It's still going to sound good. So that's it. You've got your homework. This is the foundation. This is the key to Clawhammer Banjo. And honestly, it does not get a whole lot more complicated than this. When you hear someone playing really complex, crazy stuff on the banjo, if they're doing clawhammer style, that bum-diddy is still the basis of it. They're just maybe doing a few little tricks to fill in the extra missing beats, but it's not complex. The hand is always just in that clawhammer, bum-diddy. Once you have that ingrained in your muscle memory, like, man, the banjo just gets a lot easier. So really, really play with that. And and the thing is too, like, I want to show you, like, when you have that bum-diddy, you can unlock a ton of songs right away if you just know a couple of chords. And so I have other videos on chords. I'll put a link below or whatever. So just using the G, C, and D chord, for example, I can play I'll Fly Away. That was just straight bum-diddy. I hardly did anything with my left hand, and it still sounded pretty good, right? I would sing with it, but man, my voice is rough today. But you get the idea. Like, there's a ton of songs like that, like You Are My Sunshine, Will the Circle Be Unbroken. All those sort of songs, those classic songs, sound good. Or just a basic bum-diddy and you singing. Okay, so you've got your homework. Let me say one thing. If this is really confusing for you, if you don't feel like you have it, I'm gonna put a link below. I did like this 90-minute video course to teach you how to play your first song. It goes really in depth into this stuff. I think it's really useful. It's free right now. I don't know, I had a friend tell me I was crazy for not charging something for it, so maybe by, it might be like $5 or something at some point. But if this video is fairly recent when you see it, then it's free right now. I don't know. I probably won't ever charge for it, but who knows? The option's there. Okay. I'm going to get some sunshine. You get to bum-diddying, and yeah, have fun with it. Let me know how you get on with it. Throw a comment below. I check them all out. I'll respond to them all because I don't get many. And, yeah, like I said, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Cool. I will see you next time. All right.